Nothing weird going on here, just a guy grinding some pepper so he can put it up his nose. No, I don't enjoy snorting pepper, but I do want to prove a point. So say you're driving down the road. Maybe it's a freeway. The speed limit's 65, maybe you're going like 70, 75, and all of a sudden you gotta sneeze. Oh my God, whoa! I honked the horn accidentally while I sneezed. What's my point? Watch this video. So if you haven't seen that video already, that just happened, and they interviewed the guy after the crash, and he said he had a sneezing attack, and it caused him to lose control of his car, and he flipped his car. It caught on fire. The dude almost got killed because of a sneezing attack. You know, when you sneeze, you tend to like jerk the wheel. I've been driving for 20 years, and that's happened to me. Like, I've sneezed so bad in the wheel jerk, but it never caused an accident. But look at that. That's crazy. But what it made me start to think about was distracted driving, right? How many of us are guilty of distracted driving? Comment below if you text while you drive. Comment below if you talk on the phone while you drive. What if you have kids? If you got kids in the back, you're constantly, hey, knock it off back there. You know, you take your eyes off the road for lots of different reasons. And I think individually, we're all in our little bubble, right? Like, I've been driving for 20 years, so in my 20 years of experience, I've never had a crazy accident like that, but some people have. Now, I don't know about you, but do you remember in the old days when phones couldn't text? You had this bad boy right here. The brick. We used to call them the bricks. This is a Motorola. And what's funny about this thing is this bottom piece with the little speaker on it doesn't do anything. The speaker is in the actual device here. This is just for looks. It was really funny. And the antenna, like, oh, wait a minute, I'm not getting any reception. Whoop. Oh yeah, that's much better. Hey, how's it going? And remember, people used to drive like this with this big phone, this big ass phone up to your ear. That's bad, right? But we've all done it. So I gathered some statistics that I wanted to share, and I'm going to read them real professional-like. You're going to see the back of the paper and everything. I'm only an amateur newscaster, okay? So there's a company out there called The Zebra, and it's an insurance comparison website. So they did a poll, a study nationwide in January of 2019, so the numbers are pretty recent, about distracted driving, and it's really shocking. So respondents between the ages of 18 and 24, 36% admitted to texting while driving. That's a lot of people. So if you were born between 2001 and later, that's the biggest age group for texting and driving. And if you think about it, it makes sense, right? Like, all this new technology, we do everything on our phones, and texting is how we communicate now. Like, more so than calling. You know, when I was growing up, I had everybody's phone number memorized in my head. All my best friends, like their parents' line, which was different than their line. You remember the days when you had to like call up and say, oh, hi, Mrs. Johnson, is Johnny home right now? I want to see if I can come over and play. Like, you had to talk to people. Now it's all texting. So it's very hard for people to put it down completely while they're driving. 48% of all respondents said they thought driving under the influence of alcohol was more dangerous than texting, but both behaviors can cause fatal accidents. 48%, that's less than half. That means more than half the people that responded think that texting and driving is equally as dangerous as driving under the influence of alcohol. What do you guys think? Comment below. Let me know. Young drivers who admitted to texting while driving or reading a text message while driving were nearly twice as likely to continue doing it. I mean, look, we all know it's bad. We all know smoking's bad, but a lot of people still smoke. We all know texting and driving was bad, but if you already do it, it doesn't matter that it's against the law, because it's such, in our minds, it's such a minor infraction, right? Like, if you get caught drinking and driving, like, you're screwed. You get a DUI, that's a big deal.
If you drive hammered, you will get nailed.
I mean, lots of people still get DUIs, unfortunately, but that's a huge deal. And I think you try to reconcile these things in your head. Like, well, okay, texting and driving clearly isn't as bad as drinking and driving. Is it? Over half the respondents said it's equally as bad. It's like tired and driving. Did you know, statistically speaking, the performance of driving while you're super tired is on par with having several drinks of alcohol. It's not good. People don't think about that, though, because, again, they try to compartmentalize this thing. Like, whoa, no, I'm not drunk. I'm just really tired. Well, that's not any better, right? But what I was getting at is that if you already do these things, if you already text and drive, you're still going to do it. Hey, Scubes, weren't you driving around the other day with a selfie stick while videoing while driving? No, that never happened. By the way, if you haven't noticed from the background, nothing's moving. I am parked safely. I got the engine on because it's Arizona. It's 108. No, it's 100 right now. It's 10:15 in the morning, 100 degrees. So I got the AC on, but I'm parked, okay? I'm safe. So relax. Scubes is all settled. Here's another interesting one, and you really got to think about this now. So only 36% of respondents 18 to 24 years old said that they text while driving, right? 60% of respondents said they use some kind of GPS app. You got Waze, Google Maps, you got Apple Maps, you got all these different maps. Check this out. Now, out of the 60% that use a GPS app while driving, only 7% of those people thought that it was dangerous. We all agree that texting while driving is dangerous. We all agree that drinking and driving is dangerous. Talking on the phone while driving is dangerous. Distracted driving is dangerous. What do you think you're doing with the GPS app? It's voice activated, and I get that with Siri and Apple Play and all these things, CarPlay and all these things. It's there's voice. But if you're like me and I'm a normal person, when I drive, I use a GPS app. I happen to use Google Maps. And even though it's voice activated, I've constantly got my phone in my hand while I'm driving. I usually put it in my lap because I got it plugged into my lightning cord. And I'll do this, right? I'm driving. I do listen to the voice, but if I haven't heard from it in a while, naturally you're like, am I going the right way? So you got to look at it. Either you look down for a second or you bring it up here and you're doing this kind of thing. Distracted driving. So again, you're trying to fight with all these different things in your head, justifying, well, you know, it's not texting and driving. I'm just looking at a map. No problem. It's still a problem. Now, I'm not blasting people for doing this because, like I said, I do all these things too. I'm pointing it out. And up until fairly recently, it wasn't an issue. But now you have all these fatalities for reasons that can be avoided. And that's really bothersome, right? We can do a better job as humans by avoiding these things altogether. Just so you know, fatalities involving texting while driving comprise 9% of all fatal crashes nationwide in the U.S. 9%, that's a lot from just texting and driving. You know, you see these commercials all the time. Can it wait? You know, all these things, the sad stories. But it doesn't register with us. But, you know, I think it's like anything else with human nature when it comes to death. And this is a whole other topic. I'm not going to really get into it. But I'm just going to say that death in general, when it comes to humans, it doesn't really affect us unless it's within our circle. Unless it's somebody we know. Right? Or maybe even somebody we heard of, a celebrity. But if it's just a random person, we don't really pay attention and it doesn't affect us emotionally. Just because I've heard 1,000 times that a 9-year-old kid was killed in a car accident because the parent was texting and driving, as sad as it is, I'm probably still going to text and drive. And it's not good. It's really not good, but it's reality. Here's a couple more nice little tidbits of joyful, positive information. I know I've ruined your day. I apologize. But look, this is important stuff, right? This is important and we should talk about it. The use of cell phones while driving caused an estimated 1.5 million car crashes in the United States in 2017. 1.5 million accidents because texting and driving. Wow, I mean, that's shocking. 14% of all fatal car crashes involve cell phones. Of these accidents, $129 billion in damage. So if nothing else, if the loss of life doesn't impact you, maybe your wallet does. Because if somebody's texting while driving and they run into government property, they knock a sign over, they wreck a light post, who do you think pays for that? It comes out of our taxes. We pay for that. So texting your girlfriend about how cute you looked last night and what you're going to do this Saturday, and then you get in a wreck, that's costing me money. So maybe we can look at it that way. I don't know what the answer is, guys. I thought it was interesting. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I saw that video of the dude sneezing, and it was like, oh my God, this is crazy how this kind of stuff happens. So as always, thanks for watching, Scubes. Appreciate the support. Subscribe to the channel if you like my content, like the videos, but most of all, comment below. Let's get a dialogue going. I really want to hear about this one. I want to hear about your experiences while driving with distractions. I think it'll be very interesting. In the meantime, have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Bye.